Louisiana. Wow, look at that. Looks like I'm arriving Baton Rouge. This is a short drive day. I need a break. It's been a few very long days, and I'm gonna go ahead and gas the car and hang out with a friend here locally tonight. Made it to Baton Rouge. Ironically, I'm stopping at a marathon, and if you remember, I was in Marathon, Texas, small town, yesterday. Oil level looks good. Here's my next fancy ride of the weekend. I get to take a cruise in my buddy's Kia Stinger GT. This is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, so we'll check it out. Gonna get introduced to some Louisiana Mexican food here at a place called Mestizo, and the Stinger did not disappoint. It was a fun ride. Now it's Monday morning. I think I'm losing track of my days here because it's been a little while on the road. Just fired up the car in Baton Rouge. My first stop today is actually gonna be a Guinness World Record setting bridge. I'll tell you more about it when I get there. This is just hitting the outskirts of New Orleans. I was corrected last night on how I pronounced it. I said New Orleans. It's not New Orleans to locals, it's New Orleans. And I'm only about 6 miles from the entrance to the Causeway Road. Here we
Keep
go.
right.
Getting on Causeway Boulevard here, and it'll take me to the start of the actual bridge system.
In 1.3 miles, turn right onto 7th Street.
This humidity is no joke too. And my window's fogging up, but here we go. This is the entrance on the south end. They only collect a toll on this bridge from north to south, not from south to north. I'm 2.8 miles in. I can still see a sliver of land in my rearview mirror, but there's definitely nothing ahead of me. Holy moly, this thing goes forever. Mile 12, so I'm at about the halfway point on the bridge. Good morning. I made it to the north end. There's mile marker 23 and a half. And I've made landfall once again. Interesting, when that causeway was built, it basically brought this northern shore into the New Orleans metro area, which shaved 50 minutes off the travel time. Really bad lighting, but there is welcome to MISSISSIPPI, Mississippi. There's the Alabama state line. These smaller states go very quickly. Oh, it's gonna be hidden by a truck. There it is, Sweet Home Alabama. It's kind of an important deal here when you start seeing signs for Florida. That's the first one I've seen, Pensacola, announced from here in Mobile, Alabama. Ooh, cool. Going underneath downtown Mobile. Stretched my legs for a minute, and now I'm gonna hit the road one more time. I think the next stop is gonna be the Florida state line, which, believe it or not, is only about another, I think 15-20 minutes maybe. There it is, the Florida state line. I just made it. This is the Florida Welcome Center. You can see the sign behind me there. I'm gonna go over and get my picture real quick. The interstate was not the best place to stop because the guardrail was right along the side of the road and it was a dangerous situation, but this will do. There we go. Just crossed into Eastern time zone now. I've lost a total of 3 hours in time zone since I left Phoenix. And I believe I'm about 40 miles is all from Tallahassee here on Interstate 10. So we do have a little bit of an unplanned stop here. I had the wheel turned this way at the Pilot gas station here in Tallahassee, and notice I'm really down to the wear bar on the inside. This car has always worn tires on the insides really badly on the front. So I came over here just to kind of see if I wanted to maybe rotate these to the back because the backs are really meaty. But I do still have 3,000 miles left on my trip, so I'm gonna go ahead and have 2 new tires put on this thing. Better safe than sorry before I drive to Orlando tonight. So that set me back about an hour, but it's worth it for peace of mind. I just didn't want to have to worry about worn tires on this trip, and I still have a long ways to go. So hello from the Florida Turnpike. I just saw the first sign for Miami and it said 275 miles. Orlando, on the other hand, is only 50 some odd, and that's where I'm going tonight. I have arrived in Orlando for the night, just a couple miles from my friend's place that I'm going to crash with. Looks like Orlando just got some fresh rain tonight. It is very muggy out here. Went ahead and topped off the tank, added a logbook entry to the ledger, and I'm gonna use the bathroom before meeting a local friend for dinner. Good morning from Orlando, Florida. I pulled up last night to this street address in the dark, and even then I could tell I'd found the right place for my Mercedes-Benz enthusiast friends. Check out this lineup here. That is a driveway full of, let's add up the MSRP of everything that's sitting in here and see what it comes out to. Pretty sweet setup. Now we're headed out again, this time to West Palm Beach. It's on the eastern coast of Florida, about 250 miles, I think, or so from Orlando. I'm on track to be there by about 11 a.m. to meet a friend for lunch there. It's a rainy arrival in West Palm Beach. I just got off the Freeway 95. I'm fueling up here. $3.79 a gallon here for 93 octane. Then I'm headed to lunch. And a beautiful rainy day in West Palm. Ended up having to take rooftop parking here on level 8 at the structure because there's nothing else available, but it's not a bad view up here. Got some weather warnings out here. When thunder roars, go indoors. I did hear some pretty good thunder just about a bit ago. Key West 165. I just saw the sign, the first sign that's mentioned Key West. So it's starting to feel real that I'm actually here. This is DJ's MDX. This is a 2019, beautiful down in Miami. Of course, I can't be making a road trip without meeting up with some fellow Acura guys. So say hello, DJ, Carlos. I'll introduce you just in a second to Carlos TSX, but there's the MDX. And here's another one. This is my friend Carlos in a 2005 Acura TSX. And he's had this thing since new. He just showed me his binder full of records. But if you could just look at the interior, how nice it is. He's done a really nice job keeping that up. We're gonna stage these for a more proper picture / video here. Since we have the opportunity, might as well. There we go.
I always like this white color. I thought about waxing it, but I mean, it's too much. I gotta hurry.
Carlos is outshining us over there. Here's a very wet start to my drive to the Keys. Pretty crazy water out here. Ought to make for an interesting drive across the bridges. So this will be my last fuel stop before I start into Highway 1. We're just getting absolutely dumped on though. Poor guy next to me is in a motorcycle. Starting to get interesting out here. This is the connecting bridge between a couple of the smaller keys that I've gone through so far. Looks looks like it's going to be a pretty good sunset if those clouds will clear a little bit. Continuing my sort of theme, this is now Marathon Key. This is 7 Mile Bridge, and parallel to me, running over there, is the old bridge. I believe that was taken out of commission sometime in the 1980s. I should have clocked it to see if it's really 7.0 miles, but this is where it's all happening. Cool place. This is awesome. Well, I guess I didn't make it to Key West before sundown, but that's okay. I got all day to hang out. I'm only about 20 miles now from my reservation for the next 2 nights. This is it, Key West. Oddly, the grass here isn't as bad as I thought. I just took the car past the southernmost point in the continental United States and got a quick picture despite the fact that it's dark out and those streets are a little flooded. But this is the Palms Motel that I'm staying at for a couple nights. I'm gonna stash the car back here at the Palms parking. After a little bit of a scavenger hunt trying to find my room, I did figure it out. It's room 204. Met some nice folks from Germany out on the front deck who I guess are my neighbors tonight. About 8 o'clock local time. I decided to come back for a proper morning picture at the southernmost point marker since I was here at night last night. You can see how beautiful it is. I'm gonna move the car quickly, but just wanted to show that it is here. This is awesome. Kind of early down here to get access to the marker. Didn't even do my hair yet, but it's a beautiful day on the southernmost coast of the United States.